Central Command. A department so big that it needed 2 department heads to run it adequately. Which was the reason why there were 2 abnormalities apparent in this day. I thought it was best to hire a few more recruits. But not too many, as I didn't know what else would be in the Central Command. Speaking of Central Command, let's talk about the 2 abnormalities. One looked like some deformed fetus. The other, a friendly looking robot. As for anything more, well, I'd be getting to that before the end of this day. I promise you that much. Well, I promised them that much. Well, you get the idea. Yeah, to grab off meltdown levels, it needed more works to be done. The nameless fetus and little helper. There are a lot of dark stories with this facility and the abnormalities within it. With each abnormality researched, it'd get closer to the end in both universes. Also, it was unwise to get anything but a good result with Little Helper. As for the nameless fetus, it was best to use instinct works. And surprisingly, or rather unsurprisingly, the nameless fetus's gift is headphones. Quite thin. Even though it made the agent slightly less durable, it made them faster in both moving around and attacking. It also made them slightly less vulnerable to white damage. which had some uses. Yeah, wouldn't have much in the way of working with other abnormalities on this day until research was completed. Well, for now, there was a Green Dawn ordeal approaching, so yeah, the suit was white with bloodstains with the little helper set. As for the weapon, well, that'd have to wait until the ordeal was done and the research was completed. Simple enough with security and training. There were only 2 corridors that they could appear. Same with Central Command, although it was difficult to see where and when. Well, where they'd appear. When, depending on when Griphoff meltdown would appear. Well, I don't need to repeat myself, so you know what happened after I was done. For now. Yeah, it was back to the little helper and the nameless fetus. The little helper was a lot simpler. He'd be mostly fine as long as you didn't get a bad result. Nameless fetus, on the other hand, much more dangerous. A spiked mace was the weapon of the little helper. The nameless fetus had a suit that had decent white and black damage resistance, and a disgusting looking yet long range weapon, but get wrong with the works and the nameless fetus would cry, causing the Griphoff counters to lower, risking breaching. The only way to appease the nameless fetus was to offer a sacrifice, randomly selected, in which case the agent chosen would be eaten. Yeah, I didn't want that. which is why I had high attachment agents work on that one. And the next ordeal was a Violet Noon. And Violet Noons, well, do I really have to mention what they are? Well, they land in main rooms and crush any below them. Yeah, it's best to top up the designated parasactory agent. Well, if white damage is taking too much, they go insane. And considering that there was a Crimson Dusk ordeal appearing on this day for the first time. Well, this one was one of the easier ones to deal with, although it was not easy to predict where it would end up in each department. Main rooms with control, security, and training, but just below the main room in information. As for Central Command, not a lot of places that could appear. And with justice trained better than the other me did, at least this time around. They made short work on the great love for us. After that, all I could do was wait until a dusk ordeal appeared. How could it be any worse? Well, I'd find that out later on in the day. All I knew was that it was gonna be painful. It was gonna be hard. And it was gonna show no restraints. Well, even less restraint than noon ordeals. It was coming. The green dust ordeal. And I already knew it wasn't gonna be good. So just to be on the safe side, I evacuated Central Command of all essential personnel. Those that actually had a chance to fight back. Where's a reach was what it was called. The machines looked innocent enough, but I wouldn't bet that for me. Because what they did, well, they made green dawns and noons. I knew that it would be suicidal to leave him in there. Although once all the robots nearby were dealt with or weren't in the corridor, it was safe enough to finish the job, because it meant less robots would be made to replenish their numbers. Information and training were done. Next was security. As for Central Command, I'd save that one for last. Mostly because there were larger concentrations of robots in the upper layer of the facility. I decided to deal with the machines making them first, before the machines actually hunt. At this point, I decided to send some to take the fight to the enemy. Yeah. As dealing with the robots in the upper layer, I could leave that to the agents already there. As for the middle layer, well, the agents I sent there could keep them under control. Yeah, red damage shields. Can't really give you a full overview of what... Well, I find it difficult to describe how useful they are, other than telling you that it's useful. Let's just say that a few of my agents would have been dead if it weren't for that. At this point, all of the machines responsible for making the Green Dawns and Newtons were destroyed. And at this point, everyone else finished the job by destroying what was made. And that was the last of the ordeals. And it was getting a bit more complicated. Just needed to have all the equipment made for each of my agents. Well, all the equipment for each of the abnormalities that have been fully researched. Yeah, it didn't feel right leaving that unfinished. So I needed to deal with it. Couldn't hurt to get some gifts in while I was at it. Well, those who didn't already have them. At this point, the little helper breached. And it went homicidal. which required a more aggressive response to putting it back in its containment unit. So any agent that wasn't doing anything, I decided to send to subdue the little helper. Yeah. They say the machines don't go on strike. Well, this one does. Although, suppressing this strike, well, a lot easier than it was with humans. As for the department heads, both known as Temporath, they appeared as a boy and a girl in identical outfits, which meant one of them was a transvestite. Yeah, sorry. Apparently, they were children when what happened to them resulted in them being what they are now. The girl was a lot more serious. Well, compared to the boy. He was a little more laid back. It's a miracle that the Central Command Department works at all. Compared to how I thought this day was gonna go, I thought this day went quite well. I mean, the ordeals were dealt with without agent casualties. And even though there was a breach of Little Helper, the agent sent to suppress it, well, they didn't need to worry about it. As for X Corporation, the ones that made it, I could guess that the customer complaints line was quite busy when it went homicidal. I mean, they should have tested it to make sure that it didn't confuse cleaning with killing. Yeah, decided to have someone who didn't have the hair clip work on the grave of cherry blossoms while there was still some grip-off counter left in it. Besides, the day was almost over. And all the equipment was made for the day. Well, the only thing left was end the day and wait for the next two abnormalities to appear. Could they be any worse? Well, I wouldn't know until we got to that day. I received a letter from A, basically telling me to listen to what Angela has to say, and he'd see me later on. And Angela more or less figured out what was, well, who said it. Apparently I was being recognized. Like it mattered. All that mattered was getting through the day. Apparently he was on a long journey. Not that there was a lot of places to go on a journey. Then she talked about getting out of the monitor. Yeah. I doubt that was gonna happen anytime soon. Although she spoke like she used to do that. That concerned me. There was both a standard abnormality and a tool abnormality appearing on day 22. Although why was it larger than it needed to be for just 4 abnormalities? Well, that'll be revealed later.